What's up, everybody? We're popping off with the Gref-G, absolutely obliterating Twitch records, the Rust Resurgence taking the streaming world by storm, and Bethesda's brand new Indiana Jones game. That's right, we're your one-stop shop for the biggest and best in video game news.
And if you're not subscribed, well, it's as simple as clicking a button. Come on, you know you can do that. And maybe you can hit that little notification bell while you're at it, because you're going to help save the universe.
Or just
save the universe, I mean,
your
you're going to help us build our channel.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Emma Fife.
And I'm Jimmy Wong.
And this is The Lowdown.
The Lowdown. Diggity down. Oh, yeah.
Low, down. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's Rust Revival, people! The multiplayer survival game is more successful than ever, reporting 2 separate days in 1 week where Steam sales totaled over $1 million.
Ooh,
Rust, honey, you are not just surviving, you're thriving. Rust originally launched in early access in 2013, but it was fully released in 2018, and the game recently exploded in popularity due to streamers like XQC and Shroud playing on private servers. A game that's been out for years, finding new popularity due to streamers. Huh, I think I've maybe heard that one before.
Yeah, I think so too. Turns out streamers can just, I guess, revive any game. Among Us came out in 2018 and streamers completely blew it out the water. Rust is taking Twitch by storm and YouTube. You just see videos for this everywhere. It's a completely open world. It's sandboxy. You could do things to really mess with other players. And I think streamers are just enjoying having these little online digital communities.
Yeah, I think that's really what it boils down to, is this is definitely a game that there's clearly different ways to play. And I've definitely seen a little bit of discourse amongst people who are playing this game, which are numbering in the hundreds of thousands, I'm sure, at this point. But basically like saying things like, oh, sorry, we were being a little bit disrespectful of the people that didn't want to do so much PvPing and maybe wanted to do more of the role play kind of stuff. So I think that because it does have this very like vastness, if you will, in terms of ways to play the game, that there's certainly some appeal to it there. I know I have a friend that was like, I'm going to start playing some Rust this week. And I went, well, Godspeed.
Hope you don't get trolled and murdered after you spend 10 hours collecting goods for someone to come out of nowhere, completely naked, hammering you to death, which is a thing that happens in Rust.
Oh, it does. Like, that's the thing is, go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay, to me, this is tied to like GTA, which has a really big online role-playing community too.
Yes.
I think it's just really cool to see like Minecraft, Rust, all these games put you in the position of a character from first-person view that's engaging in the world and building in the world around them. And Rust almost feels like the 2013 version of a much like sort of less cool looking Minecraft for a lot of people. So I can see the appeal. It makes tons of sense.
Yeah, I've definitely seen people talking about in Rust, because much like, you know, in Minecraft, sort of traditionally, you need to build yourself a structure so that you don't get attacked by things that come out at night. And it seems like with Rust, it's very similar, where you're like gathering resources and you have to build these strongholds. And if you don't, then like you're screwed, but also people will come in and take your things.
Yeah, it's like old school RuneScape. It's got a lot of layers to it. Okay, moving on though. Speaking of popular streamers who are driving the Rust revolution, let's talk about Gref-G, who absolutely smashed Twitch viewership records yesterday. More than 2 million people tuned into the Spanish language streamer's live reveal of his Icon series Fortnite skin. And the record he broke for most concurrent viewers was held by himself, with 660,000 people watching him for a Fortnite event in December. So from 660,000 to 2 million. Wow, Gref-G broke records as well because he unseated Ninja's infamous Fortnite stream with Drake as the previous record holder. Good job, Gref-G.
Also, just to like give you a little bit of a view here, and we have it in the graphic, like Ninja's stream with Drake had 635,000 viewers. So this is absolutely insane. This is leaps and bounds higher. And I think that for me, what I really take away from this is that in the media in general, and obviously our view is skewed because we are in the United States, but there tends to be such a focus on US media and US creators, and we ignore just how much of the rest of the world is also contributing to art.
Yeah, and not just that, you know, I think 100 million people watched from China for League of Legends Worlds, right? Like that number right there, it just says so much about the fact that, you know, in America and in the US, we do think that entertainment is sort of centered around us. You know, we have Hollywood, we make the big budget thrillers and the huge movies every single year, but that doesn't mean that the rest of the world does not have tons of internet users. And to tune into a really hype event like this really shows the power of, you know, a Spanish language stream. If you go on IRL sections of Twitch, you see all of these other language streams, Russian, Spanish, what have you. It just really goes to show that point you have, which is there are many audiences out there.
Yeah, and so I think to me, this is exciting. It's not necessarily all that surprising because there are huge swaths of the world where Spanish is the spoken language. So this is, again, this just makes sense to me. It kind of reminds me of in the anime world, for example, a lot of anime got localization and distribution in countries in Europe and in like South America and Mexico before it ever gained huge popularity in the US. So I remember a few years back, like people who distribute Funimation, like Funimation, the company that distributes Dragon Ball on like a super high level, realized like, oh, Dragon Ball's really successful with the Spanish-speaking market. It's like, yeah, no kidding. It has been for literally decades.
Yeah, it's been that way for a while. I would say, you know, if you're paying attention to this sort of stuff, keep an eye out. There's going to be a lot more of this happening as streaming becomes more, you know, internationalized and more people are doing it. Not to mention, you know, we have to be on the lookout. Japan's got more VR chat type streaming popping up. There's lots of things, VTunes. All of it is just growing and evolving right in front of our eyes. And I think this Gref stream is a perfect example, you know, a point in history where we can look at it and go, this is when things started to be a little more apparent to the rest of the world.
Well, speaking of history and incorporating historical events into your storytelling or perhaps your gaming, there's never been a better time for a game about punching Nazis, and Bethesda is delivering. There is a new Indiana Jones game in the works from Bethesda and Machine Games, the developer of the Wolfenstein franchise. Watching the trailer gave me goosebumps, and while this game doesn't have an official name yet, here is what we know. It will take place at the height of Indy's career. It will likely be set, at least in part, in Rome, and my man is gonna have a whip.
Oh yeah,
there was
he's
a whip
whipping.
He's
whipping away. Look, Bethesda, they made Fallout, right? They made Elder Scrolls. They made Fallout 3, Fallout 4. They make some pretty big, expansive games here. And if Indiana Jones, one of my favorite movie franchises of all time, not counting the fourth one, if that's going to get that same Bethesda treatment, I think this is something that game players should really be excited for, because, you know, they definitely put a lot into their worlds, and the Indiana Jones world is one that I don't think we've really explored in video games outside of like Lego Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah, there is like an old, I think like point and click adventure Indiana Jones. I'm not even kidding you, but it is interesting to me that Indiana Jones has not gotten the same like level of trying when it comes to making video games that Star Wars has. I'm not saying that all the Star Wars games have knocked it out of the park. I'm just saying there's a lot of them, and they kind of cross over a large sort of breadth of genres within the video game world. Indiana Jones, this is a no-brainer to make a video game out of. I mean, have you played like Tomb Raider or Uncharted? Those are all basically just trying to be Indiana Jones. So why don't we just make Indiana Jones? So I'm definitely for it. And as you say, Jimmy, I have a lot of hope for Bethesda, especially because they are so good at creating these very expansive, explorable worlds. And at the end of the day, Indiana Jones is an explorer. So give me a nice big open world Indiana Jones, 300 plus hours of side quests. Like, sign me up.
You know, I think I speak for both of us when we are hoping that friend of the show, AJ Locascio, gets the call to be good old Indy, because he does a lot of Harrison Ford. Okay, Emma, it is your turn to pick the wild card story today. So I think you're thinking what I'm thinking.
You say it, Jimmy.
No. How about you say it?
No, Jimmy, you just go ahead and say it.
Oh, I mean, hey, what if we both said it?
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go.
Today's last wildcard story is Bowser's Fury.
Yes, that is right, everyone. There was a Nintendo Direct this morning. Nintendo dropped a trailer for Super Mario 3D World. Bowser's Fury, more like Bowser's Furry. Am I right? In honor of the game, Nintendo is releasing a special Mario edition of the Switch in the Lil Plumber's classic colors. The game releases February 12th of this year and has all your favorite Mario characters dressed up as their fur-sonas. That's right, folks. Toad is a furry. We're in the future, and it's simultaneously weirder and also more adorable than anyone could have imagined. And I just would like to point out that this particular iteration of Bowser, this Fury Bowser, if you will, okay, listen, his name localized in the US, Mega Fury Bowser, it strikes fear in the hearts of men, to be sure, cool. But not as much as the Japanese name, which is Godslayer Bowser.
Does that make Mario the god, especially when he goes Super Saiyan in his little kitty outfit?
Mario died, bro. Sephiroth stabbed him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that was canon now. All right, I love it. Okay, that's it for the lowdown for today. But come on, don't forget, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's going to help us out, and we're going to continue helping you out. I dare you to do this. Actually, Bowser dares you. Actually, God Slayer Bowser dares you to do this. God
Slayer Bowser will come to your house if you don't subscribe to our channel. Actually, you might want God Slayer Bowser to come to your house, so I think I'm going to retract that statement. But do be sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at @TheDownloadVenn and YouTube at VENNDownload. May the force be with you all. And I hate snakes. Goodbye. Yeah.
This belongs in a museum. Hey, you. That's right, you. Thanks for tuning in. Check out more great moments from The Download on our YouTube at WatchVenn, and you can watch the full episode and catch up on VENN.tv. I'll see you there.